Welcome back to another episode of Cappuccino Chat. This time we're talking about how phishing attacks are on the rise and how to protect yourself. All right, so this time we're talking about phishing attacks, which we've all heard about, but they're on the rise, so we need to do more to protect ourselves. In quarter one of 2024, this year, we've had 963,000 phishing attacks confirmed. Now that's a 50% increase in attacks. So we need to do a better job of making sure that we're protected so that these attacks are not successful. So why does this keep happening? Well, attackers are using more AI. So some of the old telltale signs of a phishing attack of bad spelling, bad punctuation, those types of things aren't there as much anymore. And they're starting to look better and better email crafting and things of that nature so that it's harder and harder to detect unless you use additional methods, which we're going to get into to help protect yourself. So again, the old way of just looking for bad ways of spelling, punctuation, bad links and things of that nature aren't there like they used to be. They've really gotten much better due to AI. So now, some of this stuff now is even passing your information through to legitimate websites. So let's give you an example here. Let's say you get a phishing email that's Office 365 related. So like Teams, OneDrive, email, that kind of stuff. What they're doing is having you click a link that makes it look like you're being prompted for your username, credentials, and even your 2FA code, right? So we got that 2FA enabled, which everybody needs to have that done, that's for sure. But it's getting that information and prompting you for it and passing it through to the legitimate Microsoft website so that when you log in, it's legitimately your Office 365. So it looks like nothing is wrong, but they've now captured your username, password, and your MFA code. Now, those MFA codes are only good for 30 seconds, but in that time frame, they can piggyback and log in with that same code just like you did, and then get into your email. They're in there for 14 days before it reprompts them. At that point, they can set up different rules, do different things, grab contacts, start setting up things, or even set up an additional 2FA authentication method being their own phone or SMS or authenticator app, and they can get in there. And yes, that has happened. We have somebody who had that happen to them. So we need to set up additional protections to make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen. So how can we do a better job? Number one, big one, consistent and enforced cyber awareness training. What I mean by enforced is somebody higher up needs to make sure that everybody is doing their quarterly training. This is to help everybody be able to spot these things, look for these different phishing attacks, and be aware of what's going on for all these different attack vectors. So again, we still want to look for, hey, yes, I'm used to getting an email from this person, but it doesn't sound like that person, right? So again, if you ever get an email from me and it's asking you to take a look at this funny cat video, I'm telling you right now, guaranteed, the email didn't come from me. So you need to look at things, even if you're used to seeing an invoice from a client, but now they're asking you to change banking records, don't just take it on face value. Pick up the phone. These kinds of things and this kind of training is what you need to set up inside your organization and have that policy and procedure set up so that they know how to handle certain things. Cyber awareness training is a big one that we offer to our clients and highly recommended. Number two, only allow people to log in from specific locations. And we can set up some additional rules with that. So we can set it up with certain Microsoft licensing so that you can only log into Office 365 without being prompted every time for 2FA on your device from specific IP addresses. So to make it better for your employees to log in, we can set up conditional access rules to basically trust that login. But we can also say only allow the setup of that 2FA code from your IP address. So again, even if they do get passed through, they will not be able to set up an additional MFA and get in anytime they want, as often as they want, because it can only be done from your physical location, your internet connection at your main office. So this is very helpful for stopping those types of attacks. Now, we want to layer in the security there. So again, different conditional access rules, don't allow login from foreign countries, only do the 2FA from your office, don't only allow registration from your office, those types of things. But we want to make sure that we can alert to different things. So there's different rules and alerting that can be set up when things get set up. So once cybersecurity is implemented and set up, it's not a forever issue. We have to constantly be training our employees. Employees sometimes come and go, so we got to retrain. The old saying, I think it used to be, somebody has to do something at least 7 times, 8 times, whatever the studies are. They always change, of course, but you have to do something consistently or be aware of something consistently before it becomes muscle memory. So again, we need to constantly train our employees to be on the lookout for these new types of attacks, be aware of our procedures. Don't just send people gift cards. Don't change bank routing information for vendors and clients that you use for depositing and receiving money, those kinds of things without checks and balances. 2 people have to be involved, all sorts of different things you can do. But do due diligence in protecting from phishing. It is still the #1 way people get into your organization. Once they get into your email, they can get access to other things, not only in your company, but now they can use your emails, your contact list to spread to your clients, and it just perpetuates the situation and further spreads. So make sure you're doing your due diligence when it comes to this stuff. Got to start training employees consistently and enforcing it. Making sure that MFA, 2FA codes are set up and rules are in place to make sure that it's always done a certain way, not forgotten. Oh, brand new employee set up their account 2-3 weeks later, they finally came on board, forgot to set up their 2FA. Nope. With the proper licensing from Microsoft 365, it's an automatic, every account, no matter what account it is set up the same way. It's enforced, even if they've never set up the 2FA code before. So if you have any questions on any of this, if you're worried that your employees might be clicking on something, opening attachments, and they shouldn't, and they should know better, please reach out to us so we can talk to you about setting up a good cyber awareness training and help you properly configure Office 365 and any other email clients that you might have. As always, any questions, again, call us 760-770-5200.